Joining me now, fresh off her win over Rose Namajunas this past weekend, is Erin Blanchfield. Erin, how's it feel? A couple days out from the big win over a former champion.
It feels really good. I feel like, it was a tough fight, but I feel like I did really well. Super happy to get that win and yeah, just healing up now.
Yeah. I guess did you have the chance to go back and watch it at all, or is it still just kind of reflecting off of your memory?
I did watch it that night, but I feel like I need to watch it again like now that like I'm back home and like everything's kind of settled. Um, but I feel like I really that third round I really made a change in the fight and was able to, win the rest of the rounds from there.
Yeah, were you overall happy with it? I mean, what were your kind of your takeaways from that first watch of it?
Yeah, I was happy I stuck to like the game plan that me and my coaches had, like to kind of be more patient, and to kind of find my strikes and find my takedowns. And then the last round, we decided to kind of just come out harder and really push the pace on her, like since she was kind of used to that maybe a little slower rhythm that I was showing that I haven't really done before. But I was really happy with how I like executed that.
Yeah, and I think from our perspective, kind of from the armchair analyst, I think it was impressive, like how you dealt with those first two rounds, but then you kind of turned that corner. It was a bit of a tale of two fights, right? So I guess what do you feel like went wrong in those first two rounds, or kind of what did you change maybe in the third to start finding that success?
Yeah, I think she was super sharp. Like the first two rounds, I really needed to find my rhythm. I guess I was struggling to find my rhythm a little bit. I was playing trying to play a little different game than I'm used to, but I didn't want to run into anything. Kind of like my previous fight, I feel like I kind of ran into a lot of strikes or my takedowns were pretty obvious. So I really wanted to kind of change that. And then I think I was finding my rhythm better the third round and then was able to get that takedown. Yeah, it's kind of like a balance of being patient, but then knowing when to go. So I think I kind of found that in the third round.
Yeah, what do you think? Like, granted, it's only a few days ago that this fight happened, but I guess what are your kind of your biggest takeaways from it? What do you feel like you learned, like going out there, spending 25 minutes with a former, multi-time champion who's fought everybody that's anybody in women's MMA? So I guess what were kind of your big takeaways? Do you think from that fight?
I feel like I was able to utilize my striking better. That's something obviously I had a lot of focus on after my last fight. I feel like I was able to show a little bit of improvement there. Obviously, there's room for more, but it's only been like a couple months. I feel like I was able to definitely show that and show that to myself and win those like championship rounds too. I feel like that was a big thing. Like even though losing those first two rounds, I was able to come back and sweep the scorecards on the rest of the rounds.
And I know going into the fight, you kind of talked about how you were able to, after the Manon fight, kind of compartmentalize the loss and kind of focus on the goal and not get caught up too much in the emotion. But I couldn't help but notice in the decision, it seemed like it meant a lot to you. You were showing a lot of emotion. So was that just because you bounced back into the win column? Was it something else? Like, I guess kind of what was going through your mind that maybe made this one mean so much to you?
Yeah, I think it definitely meant a lot because I wanted to get back in the win column. Definitely didn't want two losses in a row. That would have been that. I feel like that'd be really hard. That's always sucks. And then also I think the fight was just close. I felt like I really did feel like I won those last three rounds, but hearing like 48-47, I knew it was close. So I think once I did hear my name, it was just a huge relief and um, I felt like I won that, but it was really nice to just uh get that confirmation.
Yeah, no doubt. And you talked about it a little bit in your post-fight press conference, but you talked about kind of having a slow start. Do you think that's something that's more on the mental side? Is it something, just trying to figure her out? Maybe it takes you a little bit longer. I guess kind of what do you attribute that slow start to, if you want to call it that?
Yeah, I'm not honestly. I'm not completely sure. I guess that's something I'll have to like go back and watch and like think about or like talk to about with my coaches. Um, I think I felt like I was trying to find my timing and find my rhythm. And maybe that it just took me a little bit longer than it should have. But that's something I definitely want to fix.
Yeah. And afterwards, I thought you had, I think everybody kind of really enjoyed your call out, both in being excited about that fight, but it makes a lot of sense too for the division and where it's at. So, Alexa used to hold that title. I'm sure you've watched her enough, and she's somebody that you've had your eyes on for a while. So, what do you like about that matchup, and ultimately, why did you choose her?
Yeah, I really like that matchup because she's another former champ. I have two former champs on my record now that I've won. She doesn't have a fight lined up right now. I just won my fight. And I know beating her puts me right in line for a title shot next. I think there'd be like no argument that after like whoever the winner of like Manon and Valentina is, I should get the next shot at after beating someone like Alexa. So that's ultimately why I called her out.
Yeah, and it's outside of Valentina in recent memory, nobody's been able to really beat her. So I guess how do you do it? What do you see in her without giving away too much? Like I guess kind of stylistically, how do you think you match up with her?
With Alexa, I feel like obviously, I feel like my ground game is significantly better, and I feel like I could really find a finish there. And then it's another opportunity to test my striking as well. She's a great boxer too, just like Rose is. So I feel like it would be a good challenge everywhere, and I feel like I could find my finish.
Physically, how are you feeling? Like, is there any sort of? I know again, you just fought 2 days ago, but like when would you hope for this fight to take place?
I'm not sure yet. I mean, I don't feel too bad. My foot's my foot's pretty blown up, so I definitely want to get that checked out. So not sure yet, but definitely like early next year, hopefully.
Yeah, do you think you broke it or?
I don't think it's broken because I can walk on it pretty good, but I'm just gonna get it checked out just in case.
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
makes sense. So I guess if all the stars align as we kind of expect them, Valentina Manon, the next fight, they'll have to take place maybe on the other side of the bracket from you and Alexa. So how do you kind of see that one going down, having been there, in there with Manon, and again probably watching Valentina for a while?
Yeah, I think Manon could do very well. Like I could see her even beating Valentina. I could see Valentina winning, but I think Manon can use her size. I think she's a very big flyweight and she knows how to use her range and like her length. I think Valentina's more like dynamic and has more skills. So I'm curious how Valentina's gonna deal like with her size. Because I know like in the past, like let's say with like Talia, I remember her complaining about how big Talia is, and I feel like Manon's significantly bigger. So um, yeah, I think it's a good matchup, and I'm curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, and do you feel like if again if that plays out, you and Alexa, do you think that you and Alexa would be a title eliminator? Is that kind of what you see?
Oh, 1,000%. I think the winner of me and Alexa gets the next title shot.
Cool. All right. Well, good luck with everything. Hope you heal up, and excited to see the Alexa fight if it happens. Aaron, really appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.